Action research is a strategy for generating and acquiring knowledge that managers can use to define organization's desired future state and to plan a change program enabling it to reach that future state.
Well, the first step in action research is diagnosing the organization. Basically, you're identifying the problems within your organization.
Okay, so you're like finding out what's wrong.
It's like a doctor diagnosing a patient that comes up to him.
Determining the desired future state is a concept or model of what we want the business to look like after we implement the change. This requires detailed strategies to exercise numerous alternatives.
So it's kind of like those buildings that are being made, they have that picture of what the building's going to look like at the end. Like, this is what Valley Medical Center was going to look like at the end. Oh, I know the third step. That's implementing action. So first, you have to make sure that you know what your obstacles are so you can avoid them. And then you have to know who's going to be in charge, so whether it's somebody from outside, like an external change agent, or an internal change agent. And then you have to...
Basically, it's when management in a restaurant changes the menu in a small location, like in a given town or whatever, and then it's going to assess how that town reacts. Like, are the customers really like those changes or not?
Wait a minute, that's the fourth step, evaluating the action. When we evaluate the action, we have to decide whether we've reached our objective or not. The only way to do that is to measure different criteria, like cost. But if none of that stuff has happened, then I guess we have to go back to steps 1, 2, and 3.
Then in the fifth step, you're just going to institutionalize everything, right? So assuming this is a top-down model, management's coming up with these things, doing all the research and figuring everything out. Once they find out what works, they're going to have to institutionalize it, which means they're going to have to standardize it throughout the corporation. This is going to become the new norm.
So go back to the 5 steps. So the first one was diagnosing the organization. So that's where you kind of just find out what the problem is. The second step, determining the future desired state. You are seeing where you want your company, like what you want your company to look like at the end. So you choose a plan of how you're going to get there. The third one, implementing action. You anticipate your obstacles, you find out who's going to be in charge, and then you just make your plan, whether it's top, down, or bottoms up. And then the fourth one, evaluating the action, you find out whether it works, whether the results are what you expected, and if that is desirable, then you continue to step 5. If not, then you go back. And then the last one, institutionalizing action research, is basically when the top management basically informs everybody else what's going on, and then everybody knows.